Today on PGTV News, Polk schools have a plan to reopen in the fall. Find out what that means for your student. That's ahead.
And manufacturing jobs are coming to Polk County. When you can apply, that's coming up and more on PGTV News.
Welcome to PGTV News. I'm Steve Barnes.
And I'm Tina Mann. Polk County schools have a plan for reopening in the fall. Polk County school administrators plan to open school campuses to students in August, while at the same time offering distance learning for those whose parents aren't ready to send their children back into the classroom amid a COVID-19 pandemic. The school district's plan reflects the responses of a community survey regarding plans for the upcoming school year. In that survey, 44% of those surveyed said they preferred face-to-face learning, including safety measures to reduce health risks. A majority of those taking the survey were comfortable with providing students with boxed lunches and hand sanitizer, and they supported having school officials check students' temperatures before they entered classrooms each day. 43% of survey respondents indicated that they didn't want to see students wearing face masks while on campus, and only 36% said they were either comfortable or very comfortable with that concept. For the latest updates, visit polkschoolsfl.com/reopening. There's a plan, but it's still very unclear to parents. They say we're opening in August, but they haven't said whether the opening date is going to remain the same. I also, as a parent, kind of feel that maybe my survey responses would have been a little different considering the recent increases in cases.
Yeah, certainly the infection rates are increasing. We're seeing the numbers of the ages of those cases plummeting.
Right.
So what seemed to be a disease that was mostly affecting the elderly are now into that middle range, and very easily if students start getting tested and are placed in, keep in mind right now, throughout from the beginning of this, the students have been isolated. So we're not really seeing the kind of numbers in students being tested because they have been isolated at home. They haven't been going to school. They haven't had activities to go to. So, knowing what we're knowing now and seeing the trends, they might have to take a new survey.
That would be what, as a parent, I would recommend.
Mm-hmm. Well, after warning of big budget vetoes due to the coronavirus pandemic, Governor Ron DeSantis secured the fate of one major spending item: teacher pay increases. That's right, the governor signed into law a measure that would add $500 million to try to increase the minimum salaries of classroom teachers to be at least $47,500 and to give raises to veteran teachers. At the start of this year, the legislation, DeSantis asked lawmakers to approve $900 million in teacher pay initiatives, which included increasing the minimum starting salary to $47,500 and creating the new $300 million bonus program for teachers and principals. This was prior to the pandemic slashing state revenues. As a result, lawmakers signed off on $500 million teacher pay package. Under Florida law, each school district is charged with salary negotiations. During the session, Republican lawmakers expressed concerns that money set aside for teacher pay may shrink after negotiations are finalized at the local level. The bill states that once school districts negotiate salaries, they must submit a report to the Florida Department of Education that details exactly how the funds for teacher salary increases were spent. Well, this will be interesting to see because, we've had the discussion before of, you bring in, you raise the bottom level, the minimum salary, but what about those who have been there for several years and are still close to that minimum salary?
Right.
Now they're at the same level as people first coming in.
Right, there's definitely a gap that eventually they're going to have to address if they want to keep their veteran teachers, because if a teacher's been teaching for 20 years and they're making the same as a brand new teacher, there's going to be some resentment there.
Yeah, certainly the pay gaps will probably decrease. I can foresee that happening, is there won't be such a gap between the veterans and the younger teachers. But I guess that's all going to be part of those salary negotiations here at the local level.
Well, at the very least, hopefully this will help us fill our teacher positions and keep them here in our district.
A very big need here in Polk County, qualified teachers, absolutely.
The Florida Board of Governors voted last week to approve Florida Polytechnic University's plan for resuming its on-campus operations in the fall. Under the plan, the Lakeland University will begin the fall semester on August 20th with primarily in-person classes. But Florida Poly will have the capacity for a smooth transition to a remote scenario if that becomes necessary, the school said in a news release. The university's blueprint for returning to campus describes steps the school is taking to provide a healthy environment for students, faculty, and staff amid the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. These requirements include wearing face masks. The majority of classes will be conducted on campus with social distancing measures, the release said. A fraction of courses will be delivered using an online model. All classes and scheduled activities will be remote after the Thanksgiving break. The approved plan includes personal health guidelines, including a daily symptom monitoring survey, non-contact temperature measurement stations at building entrances, and the wearing of face coverings. Masks will be required in all shared areas on campus when social distancing is not possible, the plan says. The school will provide reusable cloth face coverings to faculty, staff, and students, along with instructions on how to wear and take care of them. Students, faculty, and staff will be required to take online COVID-19 training. Out of all the schools here in Polk County, I think they're probably going to have the easiest time because they already had very traditionally low student-to-teacher ratios.
Right, yep, they have smaller classrooms for sure. One of the smaller student bodies of all of the state schools.
They're so highly
technical. Yes, so it's probably a lot easier to regulate what's going to happen. And those face masks are a key part of that, containing the spread of the virus, for sure.
That's the message we keep hearing over and over. I know a lot of people are discounting it, but I'd rather take the precaution and try to not only protect myself but those around me than to
And that's really the key,
one.
Tina, is it's not, the face masks are not necessarily so that you don't get the virus. While it helps, it's really more looking out for other people. It's so that you're not spreading the virus unknowingly. It's more of a courtesy to others that you're around. I know right now, of course, during the show, we don't have our masks on, but we wear them around the office. We do, when we go out, we put them on because we don't want to be spreading. If we have it, we don't want to spread it to other people.
Absolutely.
Well, Winter Haven's City Commission has cleared the path for construction of a $120 million advanced manufacturing plant for aluminum cans that will bring 160 new jobs to the city. The commission unanimously approved selling about 77 acres of municipal property to Florida Can Manufacturing, LLC, part of a Miami company that also includes Florida Caribbean Distillers in Lake Alfred. The cost for the land was almost $3.3 million, and the project was announced in December. Florida Can hopes to begin construction in July or August and begin operating the plant in the third quarter of next year. When the plant was announced in December, Caribbean Distillers expected to begin operations early next year, but that has been delayed due to the impact of COVID-19 on the economy. The 300,000 square foot plant will create 110 jobs paying at least $47,204 a year. According to municipal records, that's 115% of Polk County's average annual wage. The other 50 jobs will pay at least the Polk average annual wage of $41,047. The can plant will be built on a 203-acre site near the municipal sewage plant on Pollard Road, which the city declared to be surplus property last year. They hope to develop the remaining property as a smart business park.
Anytime there's new jobs in Polk County, it's good news, especially with the 19% unemployment rate we're at.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see how quickly they can get this plant up and running. Obviously, the delays from COVID, as we talked about, but yeah, let's get those jobs in and get them going.
Yes. The Polk County Sheriff's Office recently added a provision called the duty to intervene to its protective action policy. This policy outlines how deputies should use non-lethal and lethal force. The provision reads, duty to intervene. Deputies have a duty to intervene to prevent or stop the excessive or unjustified protective action by another deputy. The provision was added to define in writing what Sheriff Grady Judd said has long been taught to members of the law enforcement agency. Judd said that he asked staff to look at language that would address a similar situation in their written policies, only to find out that it's never been written down. We codified it in writing so there's no misunderstanding, Sheriff Judd said. The Polk County Sheriff's Office stressed that they have various state and national accreditations through agencies that provide best practices, training, and oversight. Judd said out of more than 400 law enforcement agencies in Minnesota, not a single one has national accreditation through what's called CALEA, or Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies, which sets standards for policing. The sheriff said the county has been recognized by this agency for the past 26 years. No wonder people are complaining, he said. They are decades behind.
Yeah, that's one thing about our police force, the sheriffs, they do it the right way. And they're still adjusting. This shows that they're not just content with continuing to do it the same way all the time. They're always looking for a better way to police. And also the involvement in the community is a big part of all of this.
They do a good job. They work hard for their accreditations. They're accredited by multiple agencies at this point, and they just keep adding more.
Yeah. Heather Beto, prosecutor in the 10th Judicial Circuit's Sebring office, was recently appointed to the circuit judge vacancy created by Circuit Judge William Bruce Smith's pending retirement. A graduate of the Florida State University College of Law in 2002, Beto has since served as the assistant state attorney. She is one of 10 prosecutors in the Circuit Highlands County office. Governor Ron DeSantis selected her from a list of 6 candidates chosen by the circuit's Judicial Nominating Commission. The 10th Judicial Circuit includes Polk, Highlands, and Hardee counties. Beto will serve until 2022, when she will have the option of seeking election to a 6-year term. Circuit judges are paid $160,688 annually and preside over legal matters, including felony criminal cases, civil lawsuits for more than $30,000, and family law cases such as divorce and child dependency.
Lakeland Christian grad Bree Folds was drafted by the North Carolina Courage of the National Women's Soccer League. When the league shut down in March because of COVID-19, her future was in doubt, but she is now playing professional soccer in Sweden. After a couple of months in limbo, Folds' career is back on track. Folds signed an 18-month contract with the highest division of women's soccer in Sweden. KGFC is based in the city of Gothenburg on the west coast of Sweden. Folds has practiced with the club and played 2 exhibition matches. Folds is one of 2 Americans on the team. The rest of the team is made up of players from Sweden, Norway, and Finland. And the league finished runner-up in 2018 and 2019. Folds' contract runs through December 2021.
That's one thing about Polk County is we have so much athletic talent here in Polk County.
We really do. It must be the way we feed them and what's in the water.
Baseball, swimming, soccer. I mean, it just goes on and on. Softball. I mean, we've had softball players go to the top. I mean, it really is amazing the kind of talent that comes out of here.
And there's some pretty talented, amazing people who come out of Sweden, Norway, and Finland.
Yeah.
Kind of like my ancestry. So.
Well, congratulations to Bree Folds.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for watching PGTV News today. The board review is coming up. But first, first-generation graduates in a family are met with tears of joy by their grandfather, even separated by the pandemic. Take a look.
I've literally never seen him tear up, whether he was in a nursing home or at the hospital right after surgery. Like, he's always smiling. Seeing my grandpa in tears, I was just like, wow, we made him proud. Like, I know he's always proud, and I know that, and he's always smiling, but to see him in tears, that's a world I've never seen. As much as it is my accomplishment, it's also my parents, it's also my grandparents. Like, they did not have an easy time coming here. They worked 7 days a week. My dad's a dental lab owner, and so for them, it's like they worked 7 days a week, and they made a lot of sacrifices that maybe as kids we didn't understand. But now we feel like, okay, we finally paid them back for their struggles, and we're able to do it as a family, and I'm so thankful. Almost 30 years ago, they had this vision, and like now they're seeing that vision actually come into real life. And I think that's what they came here for. And it wasn't my parents' decision that my brother and I end up doing law school and med school. It was ours, but like it is a huge accomplishment. He's such a happy person, always. Right after surgery, I literally have a video of me and my grandpa dancing at the hospital. He taught me, like, always smile, always find a silver lining, and that was ours. Hi, Med Spa. It was like one of those, like, okay, I'm gonna do what he taught me. Let's find a silver lining. Let's wear a cap and gowns. Let's go. Like, we're gonna make him happy today.
Thank you.
He hardly speaks English, but then like after that, after we went and saw him, I called him, and like all he says is like, I love you, and he's so important to me. Everyone always says like, you smile so much, and I'm like, that's my grandpa. Like, that's from him.
I remember a lifetime ago when we started this journey. We were inspired by each other to create something greater than ourselves and achieve so much together. A place to feel alive, to discover who we are, and ensure what always was will always be. Those days when we walked softly and honored our past, when he saved a nation and they saved the world. When he stood for this and she sat for that. When she captured our hearts and he captured our souls. When we were divided.
United 93, do you still hear Cleveland?
And we were united. He lifted our spirits. We aimed higher and never stopped looking up. My roads grew old. My bridges shouldered years of weight. My trails became well-traveled. but my roots grow deeper. My branches extend further. I was there for them, and I'll be there for you. Will you be there for me?
Today, students, parents, and borrowers must access multiple websites, mobile apps, and resources to manage their student aid. Confused by complex information and a disjointed experience, many federal student aid customers feel frustrated. Some may even abandon the student aid application and repayment processes completely. Meanwhile, students and their families may commit to schools and take out student loans without knowing all their options and understanding how each option can impact their future. To alleviate these challenges, we are simplifying the experience of applying for, managing, and repaying federal student aid. Our customer-driven redesign spans across all phases of the financial aid journey and will be implemented over time. A new digital experience will provide a single front door so that students, parents, and borrowers will be able to manage and track all aspects of federal student aid in one place without needing to log into different websites using different usernames and passwords. An intuitive, connected, and mobile-friendly experience allows customers to access their grant and student loan information, along with loan repayment details, all in one place. Robust data about the average school cost and earning potential of other students in a particular program of study will help students compare different schools, make informed decisions, and plan for repayment success. The FAFSA form offers an improved experience through a roles-based solution for students and parents. Customers will identify themselves in a way that allows for customization of the questions and language used in the application process. Our informed borrower tools enable customers to forecast the impacts of their student loan balances and see how much aid eligibility they have left. Additional informed borrower tools ensure customers are actively informed as they reach critical points of their financial aid journey, such as entrance counseling and completion of the master promissory note. As customers begin to repay their loans, the loan simulator allows them to test drive personalized scenarios, set repayment goals, and develop an informed financial strategy. Customer data will drive improvements to exit counseling, repayment plan information, and auto debit enrollment to generate personalized plans based on customer goals. An enhanced public service loan forgiveness tool will provide customers with easy-to-use information about their eligibility and application requirements. The online experience will also include autofill capabilities for the PSLF employment certification form, digital signatures, real-time guidance on eligibility and requirements, in-progress warnings about potential inaccuracies, and the option to sign up for text message reminders. A new feature provides customers with quick, easy, and secure options to view loan balances, make payments, set up and save payment methods, and make one-time payments across mobile, desktop, and the virtual assistant. Our effort involves more than enhancing tools in our customers' experience. We are also investing in the people and resources to provide exceptional service and support our customers throughout the financial aid process. With the single customer record, we will be able to provide enhanced support for customers on our website, at our contact centers, and through direct communications. A virtual assistant will help customers quickly answer hundreds of federal student aid questions. A single 1-800 phone number for students, parents, and borrowers, 1-800-4FED-AID, will streamline customer communication through one contact center entry point. Over time, customers will continue to experience new, intuitive tools that will increase satisfaction and help drive more informed decisions.
Welcome to the Board Review with news about your county government. I'm your host, Tricia Pichette. Today you'll learn about County Commission actions from the June 16, 2020 board meeting. In anticipation of the expected growth in the Ernie Caldwell Boulevard and US 1792 corridors, Amendment 1 to the agreement with Rice Engineering, Inc. for the Ernie Caldwell Reclaimed Water Main Improvements Phase 2 project was approved by the board Tuesday. The approval for the amendment will cost about $339,428 and includes project management, subsurface utility engineering, final design, permitting, bid phase, and construction phase services. The Lunds Group will provide architectural and engineering services for the new Galloway Road Fire Station in North Lakeland, following the approval of the board on Tuesday. In its approval of the Amendment 4 to an existing contract with the firm, the county will pay $145,225 for its services. The board approved the addition of 2 certified code investigator positions for the Code Enforcement Division. The board approved the Polk County Workforce Development Board's nearly $12 million budget, which is a requirement of state law. The final budget for the group will be considered by the board in August. While many of the funding sources allow for up to 10% administration costs, CareerSource Polk only requires 5%, with the remainder used for programs. To further the development of the Gibson Oaks Water Production Facility, the board approved the purchase of several utility easements at a total cost of about $345,000. The approvals for the property purchases were voted on in 3 separate measures. These purchases will allow the county to use existing wells for transmission of water. A resolution supporting a referendum to be held during the 2020 general election to renew the Economic Development Ad Valorem Tax Exemption Program was approved Tuesday. The board also approved the proposed fiscal year 2020-2021 budgets for the Charles Cove, Bridgewater, Holly Hill Road East, North Boulevard, Lakeside Landings, Lakeside Preserve, Solterra Resort, and Town Park Community Development Districts. Ronald Bryant, Jacqueline Bird, Ginger Garner, and Derek Woodward were all appointed to the Workforce Development Board for a 3-year term that ends in June 2023. The board also heard several public hearings on a variety of items. Those items up for consideration included: a board approved a resolution to vacate maintained right-of-way for the portion of Tenorock Mine Road that is east of the entrance gate for the Tenorock Fish Management Area. In the same measure, it also approved a county deed to and accept easement from TIITF for the said portion of right-of-way. An ordinance to expand the boundary of the existing North Powerline Road Community Development District was approved by the board. A large-scale comprehensive plan amendment to change the future land use designation on about 20 acres of land from Town Center X and Residential Medium X in the Transit Supportive Development Area and in the North US 27 Selected Area Plan was approved Tuesday. An ordinance that amends the Land Development Code to increase the maximum height for solid waste management facilities within the Institutional 2 Land Use District to 380 feet above adjacent grade was approved Tuesday. In its final action of the day, the board also approved an ordinance that provides for a referendum to be called for proposed amendments to the Polk County Charter. Well, that wraps up this edition of the Board Review. To keep current with programs and progress in the county, visit us online at polk-county.net or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We encourage you to watch the next scheduled board meeting at 9 a.m. Tuesday, July 7th, 2020. I'm Tricia Pichette. Thanks for watching.